Well, hey, how you doing? Welcome to this very special VCUathletics.com basketball update. The Rams are back from New York City, having gone 1-1 in Madison Square Garden, getting a win over UCLA after a loss to Tennessee. I'm Robbie Robinson. I'm joined by my broadcast partner on Ram Radio, Mike Ellis. And Mike, boy, coming out in Interstate 95 after that win on Friday against UCLA was a whole lot sweeter with that Rams victory. What does that mean to the VCU basketball program? They've had a ton of great wins, a lot in the last couple years. Where does this one rank, and what's going to happen moving forward now that we beat the Bruins?
Well, for this team, Robbie, it's an immediate confidence builder, and it sends a notice around the country that this team is for real. That was a UCLA team picked third in the Pac-10 in the preseason, and a team that has 4 McDonald's All-Americans on that squad. They're loaded with talent, in search of themselves to a degree, but the Rams feel much better about themselves after beating those magical 4 letters.
You know, we talked about this in the pregame show on Friday. For the Rams to have a shot at an at-large bid if things don't go their way in the Coliseum in the tournament come March, did they have to win that UCLA game, and do they stay now in the conversation of those teams if they don't happen to get the CAA ring?
Yeah, that keeps you there, Robbie. That was a must-win game. You have to have some ammunition in your gun, and when you get to that conversation in March, and I think that was a necessary win. I think Wednesday night is a big game as well down in Tampa. But if you do the things that you have to do in conference play to keep yourself in the conversation, games like this one in Madison Square Garden certainly help.
All right, who do you like? Who's playing well for the Rams? Why did they beat UCLA? Who on the floor in particular do you feel is playing really good basketball right now?
First, I'd say I feel great about our team. We are getting balanced numbers. We're getting contributions off the bench. Coach Smart and his staff have to feel very good about where we are as a unit right now. On an individual level, the guys you expected to play well, the veterans, Jamie Skeen, Joey Rodriguez, Ed Nixon, Brandon Rozelle. I think you're getting Brad Burgess. We're getting contributions from all 5 of those guys. We expected to get that. Off the bench, though, I think we've gotten a lift from guys like Rob Brandenburg, who you didn't necessarily expect to have numbers early in the season, and he's given the staff great confidence, and in turn, the players are starting to believe in Rob as well.
Mike, you were an assistant coach on many staffs here at VCU. You've spent many days in film room, and you know how it works. Those guys up there in the men's basketball office right now, they're trying to find those weaknesses. They want to improve on the weaknesses. What would be a couple of those? What do you think's keeping Shaka and Mike Rhodes and Mike Jones and Will up at night trying to figure out how to keep this basketball improving and moving upward?
Well, there's a reason Mike Jones is going great at such an early age. The defensive end of the floor is the place where we've got to get better right now. No secret to anyone, but you saw improvement up in New York from one game to the other. It's a work in progress, and it takes time, Robbie. And offensively, we're ahead of where we were at any point last year, I feel like, with chemistry. And I think defensively, that takes a little bit of time to adapt. We're so close. The half-court defense got much better from the Tennessee game to the UCLA game. The full-court pressure was a little bit better in the UCLA game, albeit against a team with shakier guards. But it takes time, and I think that's where you'll see this team progress, and that's where they're going to spend a lot of their practice time.
Were you excited to see Tennessee beat Villanova by more than what they beat the Rams by on Wednesday night?
Yeah, very much so. I think our guys felt like they had a great game plan going into that Tennessee game, and if we had just shot at all, things could have been differently, because I felt like we had great shots that we normally knock down. I think there was a bit of the nerves in Madison Square Garden for the first time, and I think that showed throughout that first night. But boy, we steadied ourselves for the second appearance.
All right, so the Rams go down to the ACC. They beat Wake Forest, lose to an SEC team, Tennessee, rebound against a Pac-10 team by beating UCLA, and now they go back on the road in another Power 6 conference as they take on the Big East South Florida Bulls. Mike, what do we know about South Florida other than they're 4-3 right now? They just beat Texas Tech after losing to top 25 BYU. What can we expect from the Stan Heath coach team?
Well, we're going to see a team Wednesday night in Tampa, Robbie, that's very big, and that's an exaggeration to say big, because they're real big. They're 6'8", 6'10", 6'10 across the front. They'll play 6'4" and 6'5 guards. That said, they want the game to be played in the 60s, and they want to pound it down inside. Obviously, that's not the way we want this game to be played. We'll take the tack that we've got to speed South Florida up at every opportunity. We've got to make difficult passing lanes for them. We can't allow them to have clean looks inside to these big guys, or they have the ability just with sheer size to just wear us down in the paint. Can't allow that to happen. Depth inside is key for the Rams. Foul trouble is going to be a factor. We have to stay out of foul trouble, but we've got to get tempo, and we've got to be very good in the half court defensively.
If the Rams go 3-1 in this 4-game stretch against the ACC, SEC, Pac-10, and Big East, What would that, I mean, has there ever been a streak like that in VCU basketball in the 40-plus years that we've been playing hoops here on campus?
None that I remember. That would be quite impressive for this team to jump out of the gate with such a strong resume. Last year, keep in mind, the Rams started strong in non-conference play, but not with these kinds of names on the schedule. And I think a second season of that kind of early season success would bode well as we go down the stretch. But we got to take care of conference play when we do that.
Mike and I will be on the air at 6:30 on Ram Radio. You can always follow the action right here on VCUathletics.com. Game will also be streamed live on the internet as well, but we want you to listen to what we have to say as we've got the inside scoop. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this quick men's basketball update on www.vcuathletics.com.